It's orange. Is this an Arctic Cat? It sure is. Another first for me today. This is the 2021 Riot X with the Alpha 1 rear skid on it, the rear suspension. Just to warn you up front, while the Riot X was a blast, it wasn't the blast. Don't skip out on me, because at the end of the video, kind of the second half here, the first half is the Riot X and the second half is the Blast M. Both the Riot X and the Blast M have the Alpha 1 rear suspension with its single rail design. And looking at it from the side and kind of looking at the rear suspension, my first thought was, am I going to be able to keep this sled upright? I'm a trail rider. I don't know how this thing works. It looks like, you know, it could tip over as soon as you turn the skis. And by the way, the snowmobile setting the pace for us up there is the Blast M. So I think that's pretty interesting that we were, you know, going a pretty good clip here. Not too fast, but still a good clip. And it was that little Blast M that was setting the pace up there. Kind of cool. Anyway, in both these cases, the Alpha 1 rear suspension I thought would be really tippy, but it wasn't difficult to use at all. Yes, it's a little tippy, but you know, it's supposed to be. That's, you know, for mountain riders, and I assume big powder riders of all types, the ability to turn in the deep stuff, I think that's where it just is. It's effortless. It's effortless. It really has no problem rolling onto its side. But on the trail, that rolling tendency is easily controlled. And that's where, you know, I figured that it would be easy to tip. I didn't anticipate how easy it was to control that. I was surprised at how well the sled handled on the trail in spite of the obvious off-trail pedigree. I would call us trail miners more like trail tolerance, but nonetheless, it was not bad. You know, if a person were serious about riding off trail, but they wanted something that could be used on trail, this would be a really good choice. I prefer the Riot over the Riot X, but the Riot X was a fun sled and I'd hop back on it any day. I feel bad for anyone following this sled. One thing you can't see here though is the combination of the scratchers and the taller lug track means that this thing is throwing a lot of snow and ice at the you know, any rider unlucky enough to be following me. As far as the Blast M, which you'll see in a minute, imagine a marriage between the Blast ZR, this little short track lightweight sled, and the Riot X, and that's the Blast M. It's got that same light, nimble feeling of the Blast, with the easily controlled roll of the Riot X. The Blast M would be a great sled for beginner mountain or deep powder riders, but if trails are your thing, like they are for me, and you're considering the Blast, then stick with the Blast ZR. Okay, here we go. We're going to hop on the Blast M now, and the rest of the ride, you'll get to hear that unique single-cylinder engine and pretty much the same handling characteristics as the Riot X. Let's go.